I'm Alex Cheparev, and welcome to Crashing Maya.
Hey guys, in this episode we'll actually just do finishing touches. So let's just get started. First, what I want to do, in the last episode we did the bandages for the hands. I want to actually add a couple of details. And so let's turn this off. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a simple polyplane. If I hold X and middle mouse button drag, I can bring it to snap it to grid, so bring it into view. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Where's my number lock? There. And then I'm just going to make a bandage like this. And I'm going to give it some divisions like that. And I just want to kind of vary it a little bit. Let's rotate a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to move the pivot there, snap it. Let's make sure we're in the world space. Snap it here. Okay, so let's give it a slight bend. There it is. So if I hide this should be easier. And we want to tuck it in and have a little piece sticking out. Okay. Just snapping it to vertices, it doesn't really matter that it will change the shape like that, and then we can just push it out like that. Okay, almost done. There. So now I'm going to subdivide once and then adjust. So see how this sticks out. I'm going to change my tool to component. So just hold Control Shift, right click component. That way I can move it in normal space. Okay, let's unhide that. Alright, so now all we need to do is extrude it. and then add some bevels. So let's go in, use relative. I want to see what it looks like with edge flow. No, that's not going to work. So turn off edge flow, set it to equal. That, like that, that. And here, I don't want to have the faces here because there's no need. So I want to save on the number of polygons. So it's a little tiny detail, but I think it really makes a difference. And then we can add it to the other side. But maybe slightly different. By the way, if you find your camera is going a little crazy when you're moving around, like if you're trying to focus on this thing, just on this side, just select what you want to focus on, press F. There, that looks pretty good. I wonder if we should do one here. Yeah, why not? This one I'm going to do slightly different. I'm going to duplicate the foot, move this over. I'm going to subdivide like that. Select inverse, delete that, clear history. Okay, and now I'm going to bring it back. Oops. I duplicated it back, so. Alright, and then hide the original one. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw using the poly cut tool. There. So there's a little patch, and I'm going to use the cut tool again. I'm going to start here, and you just want to draw like this, and then select, make sure you get all the parts. Invert, delete, then select, go into object mode, and now I'm going to first delete all of these edges that are not this one I drew, like that, and just hit delete, not control delete. This will leave all the vertices. So then we can select the object again, use the poly cut tool, and just drag, see, like that, in the middle, and then just divide. And now I want to divide actually like that. I'm trying to keep the lines parallel to each other. There. Then we can select all the vertices except the corners and hit delete. You can see now it matches the shape of the leg. And then I'm going to select this at this point. So I'll press B like that and just move it up. And then I'm going to transform component. I want to slightly move it to intersect like that, so that it's off the surface. Because we're going to extrude. Oops, this button. That. Okay, so we don't need this. Add some bubbles. There. Just a little extra detail. I think it looks good. Going to modify, freeze, reset, clear history, Control D, and flip it to the other side. Okay, that'll work. Okay, what else do we need to do? Teeth. Alright, so there's nothing more we can do to the body. I mean, the body's done. So that means we can subdivide. So poly smooth. Let's actually save a version. So I'm going to duplicate and then drop it into the reference group that I have. And this will have like my milestone geometry in case I need to ever bring it back for some reason. And I can safely subdivide this, so now I have a previous version. So now, clear history, and let's start doing the teeth. So when we look at the drawing, the teeth go up there, so we need, so that's how high the teeth are going to go. So we'll start with this. And you have to do every other tooth selection, because if we select all the faces next to each other, it's going to be hard to separate them here. Where the teeth separate, it's going to be hard to extrude them separately without also extruding, keeping this together. So we have to do it this way, which is okay. Like that. Then extrude. And then offset slightly. Okay. And then we'll select the in-betweens. Let's make sure nothing else is selected. And click extrude. And then offset. Okay, so that's a start for the teeth. Of course, they look terrible. So what we'll do, I actually want to get rid of these guys. And also, it's going to be a little bit of work on this, so I don't want to do, well, the eyes are separate, so okay, that's fine. We'll have to work on both sides, even though usually you don't want to do that. That's okay though. So I'm going to delete these triangles here. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go on the back. I'm going to follow this line to the back here. and I want to add, I want to remove the edge where they're going to stop, or this line stops. And you'll see why. There. So what this does, it makes this a hexagon, and if we use the insert edge loop tool to add loops and have autocomplete on, it will stop at that hexagon, meaning that if I drop an edge on this side and this side, see, it stops at the hexagon. So we just created a little stopper. And then I'm going to connect that. Okay, and then I'm going to select these lines, these edges, like that. Transform component. Whoops. Now transform component, and grab the blue arrow and just move it down. And then I'm going to select these loops like this, and then deselect. Because I want the teeth to be a little sharper. That, and then we can use transform component and just pull that out like that. This should be back a little. Oh, whoops. Okay, so now you can see we have divisions. We want to actually fix these hexagons here. So I'm just going to do this. That's not best. Alright. We'll go like this. And then if you remove these edges here, you get nice clean geo. Okay, so if your Maya after each operation starts to act a little slow, you want to check your history. See, I have a lot of history, so you want to clear it, and then it'll start to respond fast again. I'm going to delete this one, even though we don't have a quad there yet, but there will be. Okay. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to add a loop here and here, and then delete this one. And then just to round this off, see it's kind of flat there, transform component. There. It's a little better. Okay. Oops. Oh, that's right. Okay, so the teeth are there, but we still need to adjust them. And for that, we're just gonna grab these corners here. And move them down, make sure we're in the world space. You can see we have to go pretty low. Then we're gonna scale like that. Alright, so we have to actually okay, that's good. For now, then we'll need to select these two. Move that down. Then we'll go to the faces. I'm trying to keep everything even, that's why I'm doing it in steps. Okay. So I'm holding control, grabbing the Y scale, and that way I can scale out like that. Alright, I like it. I think it looks great. Okay, so the final thing that we'll do is add pins. So we're going to use a let's see, a cylinder. Like that. Set the subdivision axis to 8. We don't need that many. We don't need the caps either, so delete those. There. Okay, so of course it's too tall. And also, I think I want to have it a little thicker. I want to add some divisions. So I'm going to select multiple, like that. So now I want to give it kind of a taper. So I'm going to select it, create deformer, click lattice, give maybe 3 divisions in T. Make sure F of D is set to the maximum, which is 30. And then in the lattice points, I can scale this a little bit. I can select this and scale this down. Okay, let's see. We have this one. And this one. So now, what I want to do is I want to be able to place them together. So I'm going to move their pivots together. So I'm going to select these two, press W, hold D, move the pivot somewhere in the bottom. I'm going to press D and B together and then middle mouse button drag. Then I'm just going to freeze, clear history. Now we can place. So see, now it'll rotate from the same pivot. So we'll put one here. Here, and I'm holding V and dragging until I see it's on the surface. Same with this one. Where does this one go? Right here in the shoulder. There. If it said the move direction to object, we can then move it in. So there's one there. Okay, that looks pretty funny. Alright, so that's good. And now we need to make the holes where they go in. That should be pretty simple. All we need to do is just find the faces where it goes in. So I don't need the body for this. There. So there's the hole. I'm going to double click this edge, and click bridge. And when this happens, all we have to do is go to bridge offset, click the name, and then in the viewport middle mouse drag. So there's our hole. Now of course it doesn't match where the pin is. That's okay. What you do is you just move it. We can set see if a component would work. Yep. So we can just move it, slide it like that. And then maybe move this guy, and then that guy. There. just kind of make it a circle. Move this edge like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to select this again. I'm going to click extrude. Just grab and drag like this. And then I can take that and rotate it. So now when we look at it, you can see there's a hole. It kind of moves the fabric a little bit. We can also take this and just kind of raise it up, raise this point. There. Alright, let's do the same here. Select this. You can also select two faces to bridge between. So if we select both of these faces and click bridge, it should make a hole like that. And then the same thing, we'll move it. Okay, let's move this edge. Alright, extrude. So for this one, we need to move these edges around a bit. It's not very square. Okay, now let's do this one. So this falls right here, but you know what? There's no reason to have it there. It's not like we're married to this location. We move it slightly over, like that. It's more or less in the same position, but now we have, and now it's easier to make a hole there. Bridge. We'll have to do the offset. So we'll just extrude. Try thickness. Sometimes thickness works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know when it will. Okay. Let's see if we missed anything. Nope, good. Alright, so the modeling's done. Let's what we want to do next is actually clean everything up. So let's go through this really quick. I'm going to save, select everything. I'm going to press. I'm going to do modify freeze, reset, and clear history. Make sure we're in world space, not a tool. I'm going to press Shift P, which will drop everything out of the groups. So we have the two groups here. I'm going to just do a modify freeze, reset again. Oops, I moved the window. Okay. Let's turn off two-sided lighting. Make sure everything is facing the same way. It's not. These two have to be reversed. So are those. And those. Okay. Alright, so let's start naming things. This will be body geo. And the reason you want to put geo underscore geo is because sometimes you can search for things in Maya, like, what is this, pants? So we'll call this pants geo. And right up here you see this window. By default it's actually set to this, but if you go down and set it to select by name, you can now type in things in here. So if you put wildcard, which is the ampersand sign, you can put wildcard and then geo. That means anything before geo and then geo, and click enter and it'll select anything named geo. So it's just an easy way to select things in case you have to. Shirt geo. Let's call this waist bands geo. This is leg bands LF geo. LF for left. This is leg bands RT geo for right. Skull 1 geo. This is skull 3, skull 2, that, and that's pin 1 geo. Pin 2 geo. Whenever you put a space when you're typing names in Maya, it will automatically add an underscore. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to kind of group things now. This is 1. This is 2. Just so I can separate the hands, because there's a lot of parts to them. I'll just finish naming this. Let's see. This is leg band loose RT geo, and this is LF. And I'll place that one there and that one there, just to keep it nice and organized. So okay, this is all named. Good. Now let's do the hands. This is hand, band, loose, RT, geo, and this is hand, bands, RT, geo. Okay, so this would be index, tip, RT geo, index, mid RTGeo. This is middle mid RTGeo. Middle tip RTGeo. Pinky mid RTGeo. Pinky tip RTGeo. Thumb mid RTGeo. Thumb tip RTGeo. And this is hand RTGeo. Okay. That's good. Now the thing is, the other side is basically a mirror, and I don't want to have to type all of this. So everything is exactly the same except this guy. So I'm going to delete those. I'm going to take this, except this part. I'm going to duplicate, then Control select that, press P. This will drop it in there. And then I'm going to just flip it to the other side. -1. Modify freeze. So now it's named, but it has RT and Geo1. So first let's do this. I'm going to select that, name this, and this will be LF. And this stuff, if you go to this website called Creative Crash, you can look for scripts. This script I found there called Comet Rename. If you want the code, it's you just search for Comet Rename there, and then you'll be able to find it. It tells you how to install it. But basically this script lets you search and replace. So I can go in and type in search RT Geo1 and replace with LF Geo. Done. Okay. Do that and press Shift P. This will take it out of those groups. Let's select everything again, modify, freeze, reset. And I just want to do this automatic map. This will make just basic UVs for everything. They're going to be pretty bad, but it's just to have some kind of UVs when we start UVing, so we'll have something. Alright, so now, so this is, the modeling is done, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to delete, I'm going to save once, then I'm going to delete the image planes and the reference, and now we need to clean this up. So I'm going to go to File, Optimize Scene, and this you have to be really careful here, but go to Deformers, click Optimize Now. That's all you have to do for that. Click Done. Go to Display in the outliner, select DAG Objects Only. Now you can only do this next step after you clear history, and then just modify, freeze, and modify, reset, and make sure history is cleared. You can then select everything below the geometry, starting with the default light set. You can actually delete the default light set, but if you're not sure where to select, start here. So click the default light set, hold Shift, go all the way down to the bottom, and hit delete. This will delete anything that is deletable, and leave the rest. Then go back into display, turn DAG objects back on. So now everything is nice and clean, and we have nothing else in the scene. Now if you're you can also check your geometry by going into is it mesh and opening up cleanup, and I'm going to make sure you set the, by default it's going to be set to this. You want to click select matching topology, and the thing that's really important is the non-manifold geometry. Check that off. Select everything and click apply. If nothing is selected when I click apply, we don't have any bad geometry. Let's see if we have any n-gons. Faces with more than 4 sides. Select everything, apply. Nope, no n-gons. Let's do 4-sided faces. Apply. So it's going to select that. I'm going to right click in the empty space, click invert selection, And let's see if we have triangles. Oh, we do. See? There we go. We forgot to clean this up. So let's do that now. And this is going to be actually easy. We're going to go from here to there to there. And then I'm just going to scale this. There. So this next step that I do it all the time. Some people don't do it. I don't know why, but soften all edges. There's no reason to have hard edges unless you really need to have hard edges on your geometry. So a hard edge geo would look like this. You don't want this because you don't always want to subdivide your geometry. If your character is this far away, there's no reason to subdivide it. But you'll still see the facetedness. But if you soften, you can still see there's still enough detail that you don't have to subdivide, and it's nice and smooth. And then if you get close, then you can subdivide. So clear history again, and I'm going to save. So I'm going to do File, Save Scene As, and this will be a new version, so version 5. Okay, and that's done. And I think it looks pretty good. And if you want, you can create a quick turntable. If I just group this, I'm going to go to frame 1, set key, last frame, set it to 360, set key, animation editor is graph editor. I'm going to select this and click that button there. Let's play back real time. And there it is. Okay, in the next video we will do UVs and then we can texture. Alright, thanks for watching, subscribe and like.